Some blocks of flats where work is being done to remove dangerous cladding could still have flammable materials left on the building, despite repairs costing millions of pounds, the BBC has discovered. Residents say that they're worried about the safety of their homes and are unable to move, with estate agents warning high-rise flats are virtually unsellable because of high insurance costs. The revelations come ahead of Wednesday's publication of the inquiry report into the Grenfell Tower fire in London that killed 72 people. Phil Hendry has this exclusive report.
Some of the hundreds of residents at Royal Artillery Quays in London who've waited 6 years for their flammable cladding to be removed. Finally, their developer Barratt has agreed to spend £13 million to do the work, having signed up to the government's developer contract. But there's a problem.
Well, you see those panels in between the windows going right up the building. We don't know what they're made of. When they take off the exterior wall, we don't know if fire can spread right up the building.
The developer contract legally binds house builders to fix fire safety issues, but it does allow some flammable materials to stay on blocks up to 18 metres. Residents here are concerned that includes the grey corner panels on the only stairwells and means of escape.
It doesn't make sense to go through that amount of work and upheaval not to make our homes completely safe. I don't think it's too much to ask. It's really hard. It's our job to keep us safe.
Barratt say they're acting on an independent fire engineer's report and complying with the safety standard in the developer contract. There are 4,500 blocks covered by the contract. All the big developers have signed up. Of the blocks Barratt have independently assessed so far, over a third have had fire safety defects that need fixing. Bellway have faults with more than 40% of the blocks they've looked at, Crest Nicholson nearly 70%, and Taylor Wimpey has reported issues on nearly 80% of the buildings it's had tested so far. Taylor Wimpey, who built these wooden-clad flats in Manchester, and the other developers, told us their blocks met building regulations when constructed, and they're now spending billions of pounds to bring them up to post-Grenfell standards. The recent Dagenham fire is a timely reminder of what happens when they don't. But even when cladding is replaced, the body representing 17,000 UK estate agents say problems persist.
When cladding is being replaced, it's still not being replaced to a high enough standard. As a result, insurance premiums remain high. This puts off buyers, and that estate agents are finding that these flats just remain basically unsellable.
For their part, insurers say premiums are unlikely to fall to pre-Grenfell levels unless standards are made tougher.
The current standards still allow for combustible cladding to be on the outside of a building and combustible material around windows, etc. We would like to see it be non-combustible.
Sir Keir Starmer visited Royal Artillery Quays 3 years ago while in opposition and said this.
Everybody who understands the situation here, once they know about it, they say, that is obviously wrong. Well, if it's obviously wrong, do something about it.
Tonight, his government said it will hold developers to the highest possible standards, a message residents here and the 500,000 across Britain still trapped in dangerously clad flats will welcome ahead of Wednesday's Grenfell report. Phil Hendry, BBC News.